So, organisations apparently are going to need to disclose their fleet emissions as part of the UK's new sustainability disclosure requirements. But are they ready? Is the country ready for this new regulation, and what does it entail? Let's have a look at this, guys. Obviously, here in the UK, we voted in a new government not too long ago, so there's a lot of new radical changes coming, some good, some bad. But let's have a look at what this one is likely to mean if you have a business fleet of vehicles. Full article on themotoringchronicle.com as always. The UK Sustainability Disclosure Requirements (SDR) frameworks mandates that companies and financial institutions need to disclose their impacts on the environment and society from the 1st of January 2026, including their climate impacts and vehicle carbon reporting. The SDR aims to achieve consistent reporting standards, with companies needing to report their Scope 1, 2 and 3 carbon emissions and their UK energy use, including transportation fuel. Scope 2 greenhouse gases (GHG) emissions include the electricity used to power any electric vehicles, whether they are charged on the company premises or off-site. Such reporting is crucial for sectors with significant transportation activity, as it combines significantly to overall carbon footprints, but organisations that need to report CO2 emissions often struggle to get accurate data about their emissions associated with the charging of EV fleets. However, companies are now able to monitor and significantly reduce their carbon emissions from charging electric vehicles in the workplace using new technology from CrowdCharge. Harnessing AI, CrowdCharge enables accurate measurements of real-world EV charging emissions, which in itself can result in savings of carbon of over 40% compared with the standard EV emission reporting figures. Interesting. Fleets can also achieve a CO2 saving of 63%. Further carbon reductions of up to 25% can be made using the CrowdCharge intelligent AI-powered smart charging software. Latest data shows that fleets can achieve CO2 savings of up to 63% in total, with reductions of up to 89% in some cases. This represents a significant breakthrough which enables companies and other organisations with fleets to achieve game-changing improvements for carbon reporting as part of their progress to net zero. As well as reducing Scope 2 emissions, organisations can benefit from lower energy bills, helping to make EVs even more cost-effective. CrowdCharge's technology can also help reduce the need for grid updates for commercial sites by intelligently managing the charging of multiple electric vehicles. Mike Potter, who is the CEO of CrowdCharge, said that electric vehicles can help individuals, businesses, and the UK as a whole to achieve significantly lower carbon emissions, but only if the EVs are charging with low carbon electricity. I agree with that. It's all well and good having electric vehicles, but all you're doing then is shifting the carbon footprint. Instead of being in the city, it's actually to the outskirts of the city where the electricity is being generated. If you're powering your car using coal power, effectively, you're not really doing much of a good job. But that is changing, that is getting better. Depends where you live, of course, but in most of the developed world now, we are shifting away from coal and towards more renewable sources. It's getting better in that regard, for sure. Still got a ways to go, but getting better. The challenge is that most organisations don't know what the carbon emissions are each time an EV is charged. Again, that's true. They don't really advertise that. The industry-leading smart charging solution optimizes the time at which electric vehicles are charged based upon the carbon intensity of the electric generated by the national grid, which in turn is influenced by the proportion of renewable energy used. By providing data about carbon emission savings for fleets, the CrowdCharge tech can assist companies in their environmental, social, and governance (ESG) journey. So yeah, interesting stuff for sure there. That CrowdCharge thing sounds very interesting. I personally, in terms of the regulations that has been put through, it will come into effect at the start of the year after next, 26. I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to hold companies accountable. It's a different thing, but all the water companies have been in a lot of hot water, for lack of a better term. Sorry, that's the first thing that came to mind. But a lot of those guys have been in trouble because they weren't really reporting on the sewage that they were dumping into our rivers, into our lakes, and polluting the hell out of them. And again, I don't know if that's something that is now they're going to be held accountable to. But and I hope they do. But for this, for example, I'm very much for it as well, because at the end of the day, I mean, again, it's a different thing, but everybody always, I mean, there's those memes out there where it's like, well, I wash out my plastic containers and put them in the recycling bin. I'm doing my part for the environment, which is great, of course, but then you've also got companies and flights that are operating empty planes, empty flights, burning tons and tons of CO2 just to maintain contractual obligations for the flight path that they have, assigned to them. Just things like that. It's like the business. I mean, we as individuals, we can do so much, right? We really can do together. But at the end of the day, businesses, I think, hold a lot more power for a start, but also a lot bigger for an impact. Like, you could have the heating on full whack all day every day, your telly on, your computer on. You could have all the electronics in your house on and working and going and just like constantly microwaving things all day every day, right? But the carbon footprint that you would have from that would be minuscule compared to what a lot of businesses do. And this isn't me having a go at businesses. I'm just saying that they should be held accountable, and they should have to help out, basically, and they should have to help out more than what a lot of them, I think, are doing. Now, there is obviously the downside to this as well, where it's like, well, what's the punishment going to be for this? Are these companies that are, helping the environment how much, are they going to get punished? Are they going to go out of business? Well, possibly, yeah, that might happen. But at the end of the day, if these guys are destroying our environment as a country, are they really a force for good? I'd argue not, to be honest. So I'm all for it. I mean, it depends how it's implemented, obviously, and there's plenty of time for that to actually happen. But I think, to be honest, it's a good thing. But guys, let us know what you think about this regulation from the government. Is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to drive change in the UK when it comes to business users, business owners, and obviously how they actually go about their business? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, keep it subscribed to the motoringchronicle.com to see much more content on the world of motoring just like this. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well, and we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.